Where's she going?
It was her. Does this mean it was her?
Abyssinia, Alma, Balaclava, Balkan, Belgrade, Bosnia, Bombay, Donville, Dunlewy, Gibson, Granville, Garnet, Grosvenor, Lincoln, Leeson, Marchioness and Mary, Slate, Sorella, and Ward.
Miss McQuillan? My name is Kirk. I wrote to you.
I expected you on Friday.
I couldn't make it on Friday. Is it still convenient?
Of course. I'll show you what we have.
Is all of this the Irish collection?
Yes. We have the biggest Irish history collection in the country.
Well, that's quite a claim. How long have you been here?
How long have I been here?
How long has the bookshop been here? I'll get to you in a minute.
About 2 years. We also run an exchange service for westerns and detective and romantic fiction. It's the most popular section. This is the 19th century.
My God, you've even got McKnight. Ulster as it is.
Yes. But what I haven't explained is that we don't have the book you wrote to me about. What was it called now?
Oh, it's by R.M. Sibbett. Orangism in Ireland and throughout the Empire.
That's right. I have seen it on a bookseller's list in Dublin, so I can get it for you, if you'll authorise me.
Yes, please.
It's very expensive. It's in 2 volumes.
I know, but I must have it as soon as possible.
What's it for?
A thesis. A PhD I'm doing on Gladstone and the Home Rule Bills.
Are you at Queen's?
No, I'm at Oxford.
I wondered.
You know, this is the first time I've been to the Falls Road.
Well, we're really very civilised here. The cage is for the books.
In that case, I'm Henry.
And I'm Finn.
That's an odd name.
Not in this part of town. How do you come to be here if you're at Oxford?
Well, I was born in Belfast. My parents live here. I'm back for a few months to do research on my thesis.
So you live in 2 countries?
No, I live in Oxford. Where do you live?
In the Falls.
Do you live with your family?
No. I live alone.
Oh, I wouldn't like that. I couldn't bear to live alone. So. Do you mind if I browse?
Oh, not at all. That's why I suggested you call and see us. I'll have to lock you in. I'm sure you won't steal anything.
Oh, I don't know. It's very tempting.
I trust you.
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
Call me when you want out.
You know Bob, the gatehouse keeper in the Royal Victoria? Well, he told me there's hardly a Protestant left at the Royal. Only the doctors.
I know, it's terrible. It's ghettoisation.
It's inevitable.
It's not inevitable. It's deliberate. It's exactly what that crowd wants.
Now, what do you mean?
The Provost. They want a ghetto. Next thing they'll be issuing us with passes to come and go.
Security works both ways.
You're telling me?
Wouldn't take too much to heart what she says, love. She's Jewish, you know she doesn't understand. I'm away on, love. See you tomorrow.
Cheerio, Mrs. O'Hare.
Cheerio.
Your customer wants out of the cage. He's been here for hours.
He's looking for something. Success?
This is half my reading list. If I give you my number, it wasn't on the letter, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Or you could ring me when the books come in.
I will, surely.
Thank you.
How well did you know him?
Who?
How well did you know Henry Kirk?
Not long. He wrote me after Christmas about a book he wanted. Then he called into the shop.
What book?
Sibbert. Orangism in Ireland and throughout the Empire.
When did you next see him?
About a week later, when the books arrived from Dublin, I rang him. He told me that his father was a judge and that he'd warned him not to go back up the Falls Road. So we arranged to meet in town.
I was afraid you wouldn't come.
I'm sorry I'm late.
Oh, I've given you a lot of trouble. I should have collected them myself.
It's no trouble. I like coming in here.
They're beautiful. First editions, too. You've just saved me 6 months' work.
I don't know why I'm asking you this, but why are you reading this stuff? Orangism in Ireland and throughout the Empire. You're not an Orangeman, are you?
My father walks every 12th of July, and my grandfather was involved in gun running for the Ulster Volunteers, but we don't talk about that.
Seriously?
No, I'm not an Orangeman. I'm reading this for my thesis.
Do you not think that's all a bit irrelevant now? Gladstone and Home Rule.
No, I don't. No. Gladstone tended to dismiss the Protestants as a bigoted minority. Successive British governments are making the same mistake.
What is your thesis, briefly? In a line.
That the Protestant opposition to Home Rule was rational. Because at the time, Ulster Protestant industries, linen, shipbuilding were dependent on the British market. Home Rule would have ruined Ulster financially.
But it wasn't just about money, was it?
No. The Protestants were also worried about being discriminated against in a largely Catholic state.
They were worried?
Yes, I think those fears were justified.
You agree with them?
Yes. You take Parnell, for example. Charles Stewart Parnell, a Protestant, the leader of the Home Rule movement, was destroyed by the Roman Catholic clergy over his divorce case.
He was destroyed by Gladstone and the English nonconformists.
That's very sophisticated.
I did Parnell in Form 3.
Oh, well, you have me at a disadvantage. I never did Parnell till I went to Oxford.
And when has any Protestant movement had a Catholic leader?
Oh, come on. They're not exactly queuing up at the door.
How could they be? What are the words of the Constitution?
That's not relevant.
A Protestant parliament for a Protestant people. And it's not relevant? Well, you think that's all right? It's economic, rational.
You get angry very quickly. Who's done that to you, Finn?
You're Irish and you sound English. Who's done that to you?
How did I get into this? No, Finn, wait. Finn. I'm sorry.
What are you apologising for? You only say what you believe.
I asked you down here because I wanted to see you again.
You asked me down here because you're too scared to go up the Falls Road.
Would you let me get a word in, please? I wanted to see you outside your work, to talk to you, not fight with you. I would like to get to know you better. Please.
Confirms what they've always believed. The British government are the real Republicans.
Welcome to Belfast.
Why don't I take you home? Sounds like Gladstone's foreign policy.
No, those are the streets of West Belfast. Sevastopol, Conway, Cooper, David, Dover, Davis, Leeson, Mary, Marion, Raglan, Ross, Romania. Past the block where the baby clothes shop had been, and at the other end the undertaker's. Everything from birth to death on that road. Once, but now gone. Empty and broken and beaten places. I know no others. Gone and going all the time. Only the names remain. Are all bombers now.
Have you always lived alone?
No. I lived with Jack for a time.
Who's Jack?
My boyfriend. He's a journalist.
Do you still see him?
Of course. I just don't live with him anymore. I prefer that. I like to come and go.
Well, it's very independent.
I need to be alone sometimes.
So do I, but I don't think I'd get Susan to agree to an arrangement like that.
Susan?
My girlfriend in Oxford.
Oh.
How long have you been living here?
Since my grandmother died.
When was that?
Ages ago. I can't remember exactly.
What about your parents?
I was brought up by my granny. She was a great storyteller. She told me she met De Valera once on a Dublin train when he was on the run, disguised as an old woman.
Oh, she had a great imagination.
Yes, she had.
Is this lady your grandmother?
Yes.
Who's the girl?
Me when I was young. I loved my granny.
I think you must love spiders as well. This web looks as though it's been here as long as the house.
It's a good omen. Means we're safe from the soldiers.
Means you never open the curtains.
Oh, don't! You mustn't disturb the web. The spiders are the patron saints of weavers. You must treat them with respect. Do you not know that? My granny was a weaver.
The trouble with you is you're improbable. Sometimes I think you live in a dream. Finn.
Can you stay?
Finn, do you ever do any washing up?
Can you thread this for me?
This place is a mess. And another thing, you leave too many lights on.
Oh, lights don't cost much.
One light doesn't cost much, but when they're all on all of the time, it adds up. When I came back last night, this place was lit up like the Titanic, and you were sound asleep.
But I don't like sleeping on my own, and you're always away. Why can't I go with you?
Because it's work. Ah! What are you trying to do with that needle?
Still a button on.
Come over here. Come on.
It's funny work when you always smell a drink.
I don't know. Can't sew, can't cook. I'm keeping you, and you spend your whole life sleeping. Should have been a cow or a cat. You'd have been happier. Oh, there.
Thank you.
Stop that a minute. Listen. I'll be late tonight. I've got a meeting at the club.
Can I go?
But don't be silly.
I can meet you for a drink afterwards.
No.
You're ashamed of me.
Oh, here we go.
Treat me like a child.
Behave like one.
You're always rushing off. You never stop to talk to me anymore. And you needn't bring me back the after-dinner mince this time because you feel guilty.
Don't be so resentful. I have a job to do.
You only want me in bed.
Oh, don't flatter yourself.
I hate you, Jack McHenry! I hate you!
No, your trouble. Someone unhooked you from the nipple too soon.
There! deliver me. Deliver me.
Fanny, you all right? Very quiet.
I'm sometimes quiet. Doesn't mean that I'm not happy.
When my mother's unhappy, she goes and sits by her bedroom window. On a clear day, you can see the Mull of Kintyre. She says it calms her down.
Never trust a man who talks about his mother in bed.
She sent me away to school when I was 7.
She probably missed you.
I think she did. I wish I'd known that then.
There are lots of things we don't know till it's too late.
I don't think she ever loved my father. I was her ally at home. I hated her for sending me away. I felt so betrayed.
When'd you go back to England?
The end of May.
6 weeks? Will you tell Susan?
No. Will you tell Jack?
No.
We won't make any arrangements. No promises. I'll just come and see you again. I think I'll make you my little secret. It's what you want, isn't it?
Yes, it's what I want.
And what I want now is to get to know you better.
I take a long time to get to know.
I like women who take a long time.
Ben? Ben, will you open this door? For God's sake, get a grip on yourself. Made you a cup of tea.
I don't want any.
Why don't we go to bed?
When did you last see this Jack?
1974.
Well, why did you tell Henry Kirk you were still seeing him?
You know how it is. I didn't want him to think he was the only one.
After you took Henry Kirk to your house, did you contact him first? Or did he contact you?
I never rang him after that. I always waited for him to ring me.
Always?
Yes. I saw him 3 or 4 times a week. We used to meet in town. Then, quite suddenly, he didn't ring me anymore. I thought I'd lost him.
And when did he make contact again?
Yesterday.
Well, Charlene McCabe?
3 more murders from my granny.
Only 3?
Any messages for me?
Mr. McCoy's been in again. He wanted to know if you'd found a buyer for those books he's selling. I said you'd be in at lunchtime.
No phone calls?
No. Was there somebody in particular?
No, of course not.
Well, what are you gaping at? Will you go over there and have a look for your books?
There's only one over there she hasn't read.
How do you know, sure, all those covers look the same?
'Cause I read into her. Her eyes is bad. Have you nothing else?
All right, you can go and look upstairs.
You says children weren't allowed.
I've just given you permission.
I want to look in the travel section.
Children. Sure, when was that wee girl ever a child?
Christine, I'm sure you didn't mean to let that child wander around unattended. Go and supervisor.
Yes, Miss Malkin.
Fionnuala, the Ulster Scott, is this yours? It's been ordered by Kirk.
Yes, it's to be collected.
Well, it's been sitting in my desk for a month. Why don't you ring him and find out if he still wants it? If not, shelve it. Oh, and Fionnuala, Irish history is like a holocaust. I'm sure you could find time to tidy it.
Yes, Miss Malkin.
You sure, Mr. McCoy, now?
No word?
Not yet.
I didn't think it would take so long.
I know. I'm sorry.
You not ring up?
I'm reluctant to do that, but obviously if I don't hear soon, I will.
Phone's bookshelf?
I need a wee bit more time.
Finn? Telephone?
Excuse me.
What about this then?
Murder in the Cathedral is not a detective story.
Hello. What's it called that for?
It's a play about martyrdom.
Oh.
Do they always have to be murders? Would you not like a nice love story?
She doesn't like love stories, she only likes murders.
Fionnuala, can I drop you somewhere?
No, thanks.
Well, there aren't any buses again because of the stone throwing last night at Diffus.
I know, but I want to walk. It's a lovely evening.
Right, I'll see you tomorrow then. Good night.
Lincoln, Leeson, Marchioness and Mary, Slade, Sorella and Ward, Abyssinia, Alma, Balaclava, Belgrade, Bosnia, Bombay, Conway, Cooper, David, Dover, Devis. At least I never told him I loved him. At least I never said it. Is it anything to be proud of? He's coming. Run. Run for your life from me.
Finn! Wait!
Why didn't you ring me? It's been 3 weeks.
I know, I'm sorry. I didn't think it was fair to you.
Fair?
Because, well...
Well?
I'm in England and you're here. It's not very satisfactory.
I see.
Well, you don't look as if you see. There's something else I should tell you. Susan's been staying with us for the last 3 weeks.
I see.
But we could go to your place now if you like.
You haven't told her? I was just getting over you.
I didn't know there was anything to get over. You're very good at saying nothing.
At 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon, a man I knew came into the bookshop. I think I can get him to the park, I said. I think I've fallen in love with you.
You've never told me that before.
I always felt constrained.
Finn, I can't give you up. I love talking to you, being with you. I want to go on seeing you. No, don't go, please. We could still be friends. Finn! I do love you!
The body was discovered this morning early by bin men. He was dumped in an entry.
Finn, it's awful news. We knew him.
Who?
That young man. The one that looked like a girl.
The police think he was coming from the Falls Road. The theory is he was lured there by a woman. I expect they'll be coming round to talk to us.
Sure, they were all over the road this morning.
They say it was because he was a judge's son.
Why? Why did you pick him?
I didn't pick him. It was his father we were after.
We?
I. When he wrote to me about a book, I thought it was the judge. I recognised the address from our lists. I waited for him. But it was the son who came.
Who was the man?
The man.
The man who came into the bookshop, the man you promised him to. What was his name?
Abyssinia, Alma, Balaclava, Balkan.
What was his name?
Belgrade, Bosnia, Bombay, Dover, Davies.
How did you become involved?
That goes back a long way.
Miss McQuillan, you have a captive audience.
On the 14th of August 1969, I was escorting an English journalist through the Falls. His name was Jack McHenry.
How did you meet Jack?
I met him on the previous evening, the 13th. The night of the protest meeting at Davies Flats about the police in the Bulkside. After the meeting, a gang of youths set fire to a Protestant showroom at the bottom of Conway Street. I was there, trying to stop it happening. So was Jack McHenry.
Stop it, you disgrace!
Get yourself up back to the Malone Road.
I live here!
Who are those people?
Mindless militants. Who are you?
I'm a journalist.
Oh, great! The police are raiding Catholic homes in the Bogside, and we're the press on the Falls Road watching Catholic hooligans petrol bomb a Protestant business. Well, that's all we need. Why aren't you in Derry?
I've just come from there.
Oh, I see. Another tourist.
Why did you try to stop them?
I don't believe in violence. Anyway, there'd be a backlash from the Protestants.
Where is the Shankill in relation to this?
It's at the top of that street. Conway Street.
Look, I need someone who knows this area to show me around. If I meet you in daylight tomorrow, would you do that? I'll pay you.
Don't insult me. I'll meet you here tomorrow, 10.
On the afternoon of the 14th of August, we walked up the Falls Road from Devis Flats. We'd been walking around all day.
What's that?
It was early evening. At that time, the atmosphere after the previous night was tense but quiet, and it varied from street to street. The Falls Road's like that. Each street's its own battlefield.
Where are you going? To the flats Mommy sent us. Why? We didn't get no sleep last night. She said it would be safer.
Who are you going to in the flats?
My aunties. Come on.
Why are they going to the flats?
You heard her. She's going to her auntie's. Looking back, it seems hard to accept that we had so little indication of what was coming. But I'd been used to trouble on the Falls Road before. It was nothing new.
Friends certainly did a good job there.
They're not my friends. I told you that before.
In Conway Street, for instance, there were rumours about a Protestant invasion. Some people took the rumours seriously and decided to move out of their homes for the night.
Mrs. McKay, where are you going?
Taking my mother and the kids round to Salton Street Hall. Jesus, I never got a minute's pace last night. With that carry-on and the chai tea since 4 o'clock this morning. Jesus, I think the whole lot of yous need your head examined. I'm sick of it.
Who was that?
It was Mrs. McKay. She's always the same. Her husband went to England to work after the baby was born. He hasn't come back. I'm not surprised. She screeches at those kids from morning to night.
What's Salton Street Hall?
It's where they hold the Kayleys.
Where's she going there now?
She's an alarmist.
Hello, Finn.
Hello, Mr. McCoy.
Your granny all right?
Yes?
Is your grandmother ill?
No, she's fine.
It was also the eve of the Feast of the Assumption, a bonfire night, so I connected a lot of the activity that evening with the celebrations. I went back with Jack to his hotel to phone his editor. Last night, a protest meeting at Divis Flats was followed by the burning down of a Protestant car showroom on the Falls Road. The intention clearly seems to have been to direct police attention away from Derry by rioting in the Falls area of Belfast.
Do you not use your own eyes? I told you the people that burned that building down were not politically motivated. They were just hooligans.
Because they don't share your political opinions doesn't mean they weren't politically motivated.
But your article suggests there was some kind of mind behind what happened. It's a complete distortion.
Isn't that a bit naive?
Are all journalists as cynical as you?
Probably.
And I think when I leave school I want to be a journalist.
When you leave school?
Yes, I've got 9 O-levels. Geography, art, history, language, literature, 3 maths.
Finn.
Wait a minute. I missed one.
Finn.
Irish. I forgot about Irish.
Finn, you told me you were at university.
Sure, I tell everybody that.
Get dressed. Go home.
Why? Does it matter?
You are a wee lunatic.
I know, that's what everybody says. Don't answer that.
Yeah. Yeah. Finn, get up quick. All hell's broken loose in the falls.
Up and down the road to war all night.
Hey, what news?
They
couldn't
tell
me, I'm a journalist. Got a phone call, it's been firing.
Yeah, there's 5 dead, but no off, maybe more. A child in the flats, a kid in his cot.
The bullets went clean through the wall.
Should have been here, it's been going on all night. It only stopped about an hour ago. You should have seen him. He's about this long.
They took him to the hospital, and 2 men along with him.
Armoured police cars have been driving up and down the road all night and firing into the flats.
I have to go, Jack, I have to go.
Back from the flats.
Sure, we've no guns. Those are women and children up there.
Not from the flats, from the school. From St. Congo's up the road. Our guns were in the school, not the flats. You can see the holes in the walls for yourself. You can put your hands into the holes the bullets made. Come on, have a look, mister. Come and see the holes in the walls the bullets made.
I have to go, Jack. Jack, I have to go.
Mr. McCoy, Mrs. McQuillan's still in our house there. I just heard her shouting.
Granny, where'd he take her?
Hey.
Mrs. McQuillan from Conway Street.
She's not here. You may try the hospital. Okay?
Okay.
Granny, can you hear me? I'm sorry. It was all my fault.
Are you still here?
Tell me the truth. Is she gonna die?
Of course not. She'll be up and about in no time.
Then why doesn't she wake up?
We've given her something to make her sleep. You should go home now. They'll be looking for you.
There's no one else. I live with her.
All the same, you should go home.
But I can't.
Come back tomorrow.
When she wakes up, will you tell her I was here?
I will.
Night, night. It was after 6 when I left the hospital. I'd been there all day. I'd have given anything to have stayed there, to have put my head on the pillow beside her and slept. I don't think it occurred to anyone that I had no home to go to, that I had absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. I was too young for what was happening to me. If I'd had a job, I could help us better get my grandmother somewhere to stay when she came out of hospital. I could stand up for her, fight for her. As to the events of the night, I felt out of my depth. I remember thinking that Jack McHenry seemed a very practical man. Perhaps he would know what to do, if I knew where to find him. I knew I could sleep at the refugee centres at night. I needed to find something more permanent for her. But I didn't imagine I'd ever see him again.
Ben! Ben! It's all over. The British Army's here.
Houses were still burning in Bombay Street and the streets around the Clonard Monastery. The army arrived and we welcomed them. The Falls had been invaded. Jack was right. They're here. And they will not go until it's over.
So, in 1969, you lived in Conway Street with your grandmother.
Yes. Near the top.
How long had you lived there?
I went to live with her when I was 9. She couldn't walk, you see. She needed looking after.
Were you a member of an illegal organisation when you met Jack McHenry?
What organisation? There were half a dozen guns in the Falls in 69 and a bunch of old men who couldn't even deliver the United Irishmen on time. The Cumann Amon had been disbanded during the previous year because there was nothing for him to do. Run around after the men and make the tea for the Cayleys. He asked me the same question that night, and I told him, truthfully, that I was not. Then...
Where'd you go after that night, huh?
I went back to his hotel with him. There's nowhere else for me to go. Jack stayed on in Belfast because it was news in England. I never went back to school again. I suppose I'd outgrown it.
And that was when you became involved?
No. I was tired. My first reaction was to get the hell out of it. I didn't care what happened to me, except I didn't want to go back. I couldn't bring myself to go and look at it. Where we lived there. It wasn't until 1971 that I found myself back on the Falls Road again.
Why was that?
She died. My granny died.
Sorry, Finn.
It was expected. She had a bad heart.
I don't think your granny liked going into care. Not the same as dying amongst your own.
No.
I hadn't seen her since I carried her out of Conway Street. You're not married yet?
No.
Dermot keeps asking for you.
Dermot? He used to take my hand when I was little, to lead me across the road.
I used to take your hand when you were 14 as well. I mind you standing in our shop when you were a wee girl, waiting for him.
Do you still have the shop?
Yeah, we lost it in 69. One of the first to be burnt out. Mind you, I got good compensation.
You didn't buy another?
Didn't seem worthwhile starting all over again. So I bought a house. Moved to Andersonstown. Come and see us sometime.
I will.
You used to be very committed, Finn. You're not anymore. Well, stay in touch. Don't forget me. Come and see us. It's a great name you've got. It's a lot to live up to.
There were times when I felt I'd escaped the falls.
Oh, God, Finn. You didn't cancel the papers.
Thought you might have wanted them.
It's the last time I'm going on a cheap flight.
A few weeks later, Jack took me to Greece with him on holiday. He took me out of guilt because my granny died. It was even more disastrous when we got back.
I need to sleep in a bed for 24 hours.
These appear to be for you. Okay, who is she?
Oh, Christ, you're not going to start that again. You've just interrogated me for the last fortnight.
I want to know who she is.
I didn't say I was having another relationship. I said I wanted more space. I want the freedom to have other relationships.
Look, if you want to have an affair, you will. You're just trying to torment me.
I'm not.
Go on, admit it. You've been having other relationships since I've known you. Every time you go away, you're...
All right. I'm having an affair.
Shit. Jack,
What?
they've introduced internment.
Must be mad.
I've got conditions. I don't promise to be with you next week, or next month, or next year. But while I'm with you, I'm to be the only one. That afternoon, I walked into a house in Andersonstown of a man I knew. Is there anything for me to do? I said. And that was how I became involved.
And the man's name?
What man?
The name of the man whose house you visited.
You already know his name. He was shot by the army at the beginning of this year. He was a well-known member of the Provisional IRA on the run. I was on my way to see him.
Why were you on your way to meet him?
I was supposed to move him. Take him to a safe house till he could be got out of the city. But I was late. He was very impatient. Maybe he thought I wasn't coming. He walked out of the house right into an army patrol. They recognised him immediately. He started running.
What was his name?
His name won't help you. He's already dead.
What other sort of operations were you involved in?
My first job was during internment. Someone would come into the shop I was working in on the Falls, the paymaster. He gave me money to deliver once a week to the wives of the men interned and on the run. And the women would then come into the shop to collect it.
What was the paymaster's name?
Abyssinia, Alma, Balaclava, Balkan, Belgrade, Bosnia, Bombay.
Did Jack McHenry know of your involvement?
No. He didn't know what was happening to me. Eventually we drifted apart. He was offered a job in America for 6 months, so he went. I never saw him again. I'd lived with him for 4.5 years. I slept with him, and I fought with him. And that was the only way that he knew me. He listened to me, but he never challenged me. And he never asked me why.
How did you get in here?
I told them I was your wife.
What do you want?
I wanted to see you.
Your timing is terrific. You do realise what is happening
Jack!
here today?
I feel as if you're taking my life away from me.
What?
It's like I once had a life, but suddenly I turn round and I don't anymore. There's just you.
I don't think you know what you want.
You never bothered to ask.
You can't blame me for your failure to pull yourself together.
But you could have helped me find something.
They have said, first of all,
go. They're going to make a statement in a minute.
Jack! I need help!
That is obvious, but this is neither the time nor the place. I am working. Don't you understand that?
Oh, God.
I can't cope with this any longer. Your depressions are draining me. I haven't got the strength.
Finn! You shall not rule with us! We are saying no surrender!
Miss McQuillan, you said you wanted to make a statement. And you've talked freely. And we have listened. But you've only told us about you. Now, why don't you tell us about the others? You didn't do this on your own. Just tell us the names of the other people involved in this murder.
Conway, Cooper, Kip, David, Dover, Davis, Granville, Garnett, Grosvenor, Mary, Milan, MacDonald, Raglan, Ross, Romania, Sevastopol, Sultan, Slade.
You're having a fit.
Don't let me say till she's gone.
Who's gone? There's no one here.
I want to go to the toilet.
It's all right, Finn. I'm here.
I want to go to the toilet. You won't leave me. You won't leave me, will you? You know I don't like the dark. You'll come with me, won't you? Come with me. Come with me. Come with me.
I will come with you. Finn.
Cover all the mirrors!
I'll cover them. Just hang on. Just get into bed. It'll be all right.
Whatever happens, don't let go of my hand.
Help me, Jack. Jack. Help me. Let go, Finn. Let go. Let go of me!
Stop it! Stop it! Inspector McBride! Inspector McBride!
How do you feel?
All right.
You okay to go on?
Yes.
What about the names, Finn? The other people in your organization? Why don't you tell me who they are?
I know no others.
If you tell us the names, perhaps we could make things easier for you and your family. It would send you to an English prison. You'd serve a shorter sentence. And maybe later on, with our help and a bit of money, you could begin a new life in another country. So why don't you tell me who they are?
Osman, Raglan, Ross.
Those
Romania,
are the names of the streets.
Sevastopol.
We want you to name the people.
Sultan, Slate, Sorella, Theodore, Tom.
Bring them in now, will you?
Varna, Ward.
Finn. There's someone here who knows you. Perhaps you'd like to talk to him.
In God's name, Finn.
I nearly married you.
Let's just say it was historical.
I thought I knew you, and that I loved you once.
Once upon a time.
You caused the death of someone you had grown to know. Cold-bloodedly led a young man to his killers. And you made friends with him first.
You should never have let me go.
If I live forever, I could not tell. I could only glimpse what stirs the web's dark pattern. I do not know their names. I cannot tell. I only know what my part was. That even on the eve, on such a day, I took him there. I think I've fallen in love with you.
You've never told me that before.
I always felt constrained.